同学们好. Hello, everybody. It is Monday, the 4th of April. We are nearing the end of the first section of the Young Family Tai Chi Chuan traditional form first section. Today we'll be learning apparent closing up. Remind you that I'm wearing this red band on my left arm so that you can see where the left arm is. When I do mirror, I will change it around. Hopefully I'll remember. But normally this will just be my left arm red. It's, not the nautical thing for red. So let us begin with our standing practice. Actually, with standing practice today, we're going to focus on the bow stance, but let's just start with the ordinary pole stance just to set a baseline. So feet shoulder width apart or a little bit wider, feet parallel. Sink down. Arms rounded in front of your chest. And let's just do our checks and find our posture. So your head, the top of your head is pushing up. Feel your head is expressing your energy. The rest of your body is hanging down from the neck. Particularly your shoulders are sinking down, elbows are dropping. Feel there are weights on your elbows pulling them down. Your fingertips are about fist width apart, and the front of your head is straight up and down. Now, to sink your chest and round your back, feel you're pulling out at the elbows. To feel that extension, feel your elbows pulling your spine, your shoulder blades, and your shoulders pulling at your spine. And then complete the circle all the way around to your fingertips. That's 1 minute. And then last, number 4, relax the waist. So feel your lower back is opening and extending. Your lower back is pushing out slightly as your upper back pushes out. And you're feeling your hips sinking down. Feel your weight on the bubbling well, which means weight even front and back, maybe a little bit more on the ball of the feet than the heels, and feel your crotch rounding so that the weight is even on the inside and the outside of the feet. So feel that your body is stacked. So from the point where the bubbling well is, you want the center of your pelvis, your perineum, over that point stacked, and then the center of your head, the crown of your head, stacked over your perineum, stacked over the bubbling well. That's 2 minutes. So now let's just spend the last minute attending to our breathing. Just see when you breathe in smoothly and evenly through your nose, breathe in and out. Is your abdomen moving with your breath? And that's what we look for, abdominal breathing. And abdominal breathing, an easy movement of your breath, is a sign that your posture is good. And if you're not sure about something, your posture, my arms pulling out too much, relax them a little, check if your breath is easier or whether there's more constriction, and use that as a way to educate your posture using the breath. Okay, so that's 3 minutes there, and relax. So we're going to practice the bow stance in standing practice. I just want to review the bow stance with you. So we start with one foot pointing to the corner, step out, shoulder width. So the position sideways is shoulder width. The length is as far as you can go and easily come back. In your forward bow stance, the back leg is straight but not locked. The front leg is bent, but be careful that your knee doesn't go over your toes. Some of us tend to have a habit of leaning forward, which means we're not very stable. So bring your hips back so that you can see your knees. 60% weight on the front, 40% on the back. Today we're going to practice going back as well. Then we're going to have 30% on the front, 70% on the back. The other thing to remember with the bow stance is to centralize your hips. So we want to have our tailbone centered between the parallel lines through our heels. It's easy to lean over this way particularly, so make sure, and I'm exaggerating, but make sure that your tailbone is centered between your heels. That also helps with crotch rounded. You have this nice arch shape seen from the front, from your hips down to your feet. Okay, so let's do a bow stance. So perform a bow stance and go forward. And so here we're leaning forward. Our torso is in line with our back leg. Our hip is centralized between the heels. And we can do the usual checks. So feel your head lifting up. The front of your face is vertical. Feel your shoulders dropping. Feel your elbows being pulled down. Pull at the elbows so that your back is rounded. And now, this is the special bit here. Relax your waist. So feel your hip dropping down. You want to make sure that your back isn't scooped in. Feel that your lower back is dropping down vertically. Well, it won't be exactly vertical, but as close as you can. And check the breath. And that's how you will find the best way to make the adjustments. So let's do the same stance on the other side. Shift your weight back, bring the front foot in, change feet, step out, shoulder width wide, as far forward as you can come back. Shift weight forward, 60% on the front. Lean the torso so that the torso is in line with the legs. Look down your side and make sure that you're good. Check that your hip is centralized, crotch rounded, weight over the bubbling well. Feel that your waist is relaxed, your hip is open and extended, dropping down. Round the back by pulling out at the elbows, which may well make your shoulders right up. So feel your shoulder blades sinking and your elbows dropping. And feel your head lifting up. Head up, everything else from the neck on down, hanging from your neck. Now we're going to change, go back to the first bow stance. We'll start in the front. And this is the stance we have for ward off right, say. Now shift your weight back. You've got 70% in the back, 30% in the front. You're still folded forward at the torso slightly. Here, pay particular attention to your crotch rounded. It's easy for our knees to come in. Open the crotch. Feel that the weight is even, that you don't have more weight on the inside of your feet than the outside of your feet. And do your checks. Head up, shoulders sinking, elbows dropping, chest absorbed, back rounded, waist relaxed. And the other side. So shift back and go to the other side. We'll start going forwards first. So we're in this forward bow stance here. Now come back. So this is when we do press and push, for example. This is the back position. 70% on the back, 30% on the front. Crotch rounded. Relax the waist, dropping your hips down. Absorb the chest, round the back. Make sure your shoulder blades are dropping, elbows are dropping. Head up, even though you're still leaning forward slightly here. And see if you have a little bit of easiness in your breath. So breathe in and see how your abdomen moves. And release. So we'll come out of that. So that's our standing practice, and we'll be going in and out of these two bow stances with this movement that we're learning today called apparent closing up. So we're going to start our moving practice now. So let us begin. I'm going to go in the same direction as you. So I'm imagining, you're facing the screen over there. So let's start in prepare and go through the whole form that we've learned so far. Prepare. Opening, rotate and lift the arms up horizontally to the shoulder height, and then press down, keep the palms parallel to the ground all the way, finishing in front of your hips. Grasp at tail, ward off left. Shift your weight slightly to the left with body turning. Open your right toe to the corner. Big circle up with the right arm, down with the left arm. Step forward into a bow stance, and then ward off left. You're lifting with the left arm, looking to the side, torso vertical. Ward off right. Turn the right toe into the corner. Grab and pull the left arm out to the corner. Now close the arms as you bring your right foot in and out. As you shift forward your weight, ward off right, lift the right arm, press down with the left. Roll back. Both arms rotate as soon as you start your shift to the right, and then come back all the way to the left corner. Press. Close the arms in front of the chest, left palm on right forearm center. Push up and out. Push. Flatten the arms. Bring back the palms. Sit the palms in front of your chest. Here's that back bow stance and press out. Single whip. Sit back your weight all the way. Flatten the palms. Now pull to the left. Pivot on the right heel, right foot 135 degrees. Press down with fingertips to each other with the hands as you come back to the right. Make a hook. Step out as the left arm goes up to 45 degrees. Rotates to the side as you look to the side, foot flattens, and strike out. Raise hands, step forward, shift weight slightly to the right. Bring the left toe to the corner. Now the arms open. Now they close together in the horizontal plane, heel touch, chest turns right hand up, left hand tiger mouth at right forearm center. White crane spreads its wings. Rotate the palms, so one is up, one is down. Pull down the arms, big circle. Look to the side now, look to the corner. As the arms close, change your footwork, touch with the heel. Now white crane, lift up, ball touch, empty stance with the left foot. Left brush knee. 1, rotate the palms. 2, big swing, one arm up, one arm down, out to the corner. As they get to the corner, step out, heel touch, bow stance. Now brush with the left, right to the shoulder as the foot flattens. Then the left comes back to the thigh and the right pushes out. Handstrums loot. Yield forward, bring the back foot in, center line, two sides. Pull back with the right arm. Push back with the left ball of the foot. Heel touch, left arm up, right arm down. Left brush knee. 1, rotate the arms. 2, 1 up circle, 1 down circle out to the corner, heel touch. 3, left arm brushes right to the shoulder. 4, push out with the right into a strike. Right brush knee. Shift weight back slightly. Bring the arm in front of you and go to the corner. Heel touch, brush, and strike out with the left. Left brush knee. Open, right toe, right arm in front. Big circle to the outside, heel touch, brush, and push. Handstrums loop. Yield forward weight. Push back with the ball of the foot as the left arm comes back. Heel touch, left arm up, right arm down. Left brush knee. Rotate the right palm, both arms circle out to the corner. Brush with the left, right to the shoulder. Now left to the thigh, right pushes out. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. Shift weight slightly. Rotate the left arm in front of your body. Now pull down, both arms, heel, one line, two sides. Second parry, step through to block and punch. So there's a couple of things that I'd like to flag before we practice this again. The first is a term that I used last time occasionally, and I never defined it, and I want to keep using it. This is a term that you'll hear quite a few teachers in our school use, and we talk about roll back position. And so if you imagine when we do from right brush knee and we do roll back, we end up with our arms in this position. So the one arm is out, elbow down, palm sitting, and the other arm is rounded with the fingertips pointing at the forearm center. So this posture. And we can do it on either side. And for shorthand, we call this the roll back shape. So for example, when we're going to go from left brush knee to right brush knee, this first movement here, this is roll back shape. You can see this arm is straightforward, it's sitting, this arm is rounded. And the same when we go from right brush knee to left brush knee, this is the rollback shape. So if you hear me saying rollback shape, that's what I'm talking about. The other thing is, Rima asked a very good question last time that I answered very badly. So I want to have another go. She asked, is there a difference between push and strike? Because like sometimes you look like you're doing a strike, but you're saying push, and like, isn't that a strike? And so let me try and answer that question. There are two techniques. There's a push technique and a strike technique. When we do, let's say we've done press and we do push, this is the push technique, and the energy point is the whole palm. So this is push. And actually the movement we're going to do today is going to have a push in it. What's confusing is that the technique that in English is translated as brush knee and push, the push at the end is actually not this kind of push, it's a strike. At the end of brush knee and push, we are actually doing a strike. A strike, the energy point is the heel of the hand. So for example, when I do here, brush knee and push, we call this a push, but actually this is a strike. And in fact, when we do single whip, it's the same movement, it's the same arm position, this is a strike. So even though we call it brush knee and push, and I'll sometimes say push out, actually the technique that we're using is a strike. Okay, so good. Thank you, Rima. I think I didn't mangle that one as much this week. Hopefully it was better. Okay, so let us practice again, and then we'll do it one more time. So let us start from the first handstrom loop. So you would be going in this, so if you're facing the camera and you've started going to the front, you would be in this position, handstrom loop. I'm going to turn around so that you can see a different part of my body. So we're in handstrom loop. We're starting with an empty stance, heel touch with the left leg, 70% of weight on the right. So we're going to go into left brush knee. 1, rotate the right palm. 2, circle out, step. Brush is 3, and push. Right brush knee. Open the left toe. Here we have that rollback shape. Circle one arm down, one arm out. Heel touch, that's number 2. Arms to the side. 3, left arm to the shoulder, right arm to the front. 4, strike out. Left brush knee, shift weight back, turn the right toe out. The right arm is in a nice ward-off shape. This is the rollback shape. 2, one arm circles down, one arm circles up, heel touch, brush, and push. Hamstrums loop. Yield forward weight, right arm down a bit. Pull back with the right, start lifting with the left, heel touch with the left foot, empty stance, one up, one down. Left brush knee. Rotate the right arm, big circle up and down to the corner, heel touch, brush, and push. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. Shift weight back slightly, lift the left arm halfway, turn the left toe out, left arm in a ward-off shape in front of you. You're still looking to the side. This is the rollback shape. Parry, block, and punch. Both arms circle down. Step center line to side. This is your transition step. Right toe to the corner. Second parry to the front as the left foot peels off the ground. Block out with the left as the right comes to your hip. Shift your weight forward, punching out. Your ending posture, you're in a bow stance. Your torso is tilted forward, left leg forward. Your right arm is straight out from the shoulder. Left arm is in front of the body. Your palm is about fist width from your right forearm center. Okay. So there's a couple of things that I'd like to cover here. I think one of the things which I'm really pleased to see is the brush knee and push. The arm movements are beginning to come together really nicely. There are a couple of things I just want to underline there. And then actually the arm movements with parry, block, and punch, we'll spend a lot of time on that. But before we do that, let's just review the footwork for the brush knees and the parry, block, and punch to just talk about the difference. So I'm going to go in the same direction as you. So let's compare. So we're going to go from left brush knee. So I've got my left leg forward. We're going to go to right brush knee. So I shift my weight back, open the left toe, shift my weight onto the left, bring through my right foot, step it out, heel ball toe, bend knee. So that's just a straight step from left brush knee to right brush knee. When we go and do the parry, block, and punch, there's a transition step. So shift weight, open the toe to the corner. That's the same as before. Bring the back foot through center line to side, toe to the corner. Keep moving. Bring the back foot in and then step out shoulder width apart and go forward. And so, as I mentioned last week, the reason why we have this transition step is that when you're punching to if you want to punch to your opponent, you're actually going straight at the opponent. If you were to not do this cross step, if you were to step here and punch, you'd punch past the side of your opponent. So you're actually, the reason for this transition step, which I think most of you are getting right, is to actually stay in line with your opponent so that when you punch out, you go straight to them. So what I want to focus on, so I think the footwork is pretty good. The footwork is pretty standard. So let's just talk about the arm movements a little bit. And actually for that, I am going to mirror, I'm going to wear my little mirror suit. So I'm going to imagine that you're looking at me. And the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to practice the parry, block, and punch. Sorry, we're going to practice the brush knee arm movements. So let's just start with one of them. So let's imagine if you're mirroring me, you'll have your right arm out and your left will be by your waist. So one, you'll rotate. So imagine that you're in this position here. What am I doing? You're in this position here. So the first movement is you're going to go like this, right? So rotate the left palm up. That's 1. 2, swing to the side. Now 3, this is a tricky one. I want you to pay attention. The right arm will come out and the left arm will go in front of your shoulder. And then there's a separate movement as they change places, more or less. We'll do the other side. 1, rotate the lower palm. 2, they go both out to the side. 3, the front arm, which the left arm goes out, and the right comes to the shoulder. So it sits in front of your shoulder here, and then it pushes out, and the left comes down. With that, when I say push out, remember this actually is a strike. Do that again. So rotate the lower palm with 1, 2, both arms to the side. 3, one arm brushes the table, the other comes to the shoulder. 4, strike out. Other side. 1, rotate the palm. 2, arms to the side. 3, brush the table. 4, strike out. And then as we start doing this, we want to like take the seams out and do this more and more smoothly. So that's brush, knee, and push, which is looking good. I want to also spend a little bit of time on the parry, block, and punch. So parry, block, and punch is a movement with the right arm. So, if you're mirroring me, this will be, yep, that's right, right arm. So it's this way. So imagine first you're doing this figure 8, that you're just painting a figure 8. So the first one is down. That's the first one. And then the second one is from up to down. And then we'll start again here. Down, and make a fist as you come down. So when you're at the bottom, your arm is rounded, and the front of the fist is actually pointing sort of the back corner behind you. Then you parry up, comes down to the hip, palm up, and then strikes out, palm vertical. Let's do that again. So down, make a fist, parry up and down, pull down to the hip. It sits by the hip, so where your leg bends, that's where you want it sitting. Some of us are a little bit high, so try and sit it down here, and then your palm is up in this position, and then you punch straight out so that your palm is in a vertical position here. So let's just do that a little bit more quickly, just to get the feel of it, and start adding this circle of your chest. So down, down, punch. Down, down, punch. Down, down, punch. Down, chest to the left. The other side, chest to the right. Punch, chest square. So what you can see is there's definitely some movement of the chest here. And I'd like to just spend a few minutes practicing doing some waist practice. So let us just get yourself a chair if you want to practice sitting down, or you can practice standing. You don't need a chair. And we haven't done this for a while, but this movement actually is a way where we combine the vertical and horizontal waist movements. So we'll start here. First, we'll do the horizontal movements. So one side, so we're just going in the horizontal. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Now turn your chest a little bit past square. Now we're going to go on this diagonal. We're going to move the chest this way. So one side, other side. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Come to square, go past square a little bit. Now we're going to go on this diagonal. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Go back, square, past. Now we're going to move the chest in and out in that direction. Okay, 1 forward, 1 back, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. And come to square, go to the other side, forward and out, back, out, back, out, back, out, and back. Now we're going to add all of these things. So remember when we were doing this movement in the horizontal, we sort of go to one end and then we stop. And then we start up again and go this way and stop. When we go this way, stop, stop. How do we make it continuous? And so we did this a few weeks ago. So we're going to combine this movement with the diagonal movement. So start off at the diagonal, go out, make a circle at the edge, go back, forward across the diagonal, circle at the edge, forward across the diagonal. That's 1, 2, 2, 3, circle at the edge and across the diagonal, and 1 more across. Now we can also go back the other direction. So backwards across the diagonal, circle at the edge, back across the diagonal, circle at the edge, back across the diagonal, circle, back, 1 more, across the diagonal, and across the diagonal. Now, that's the way in which we've been able to put a circle in this movement here. What about this side to side? How do we put a circle with this one? The way we do that is we add a circle in this vertical plane. So go to the side and then sink down and come up. Imagine you're swinging a pendulum, right? So down and out, down and out. Now go all the way around the top in a circle. 2, 3. Make a big circle with your chest. 4. And now we're going to go the other way and up and around to the side, down as 1, to the side, up, to the side, down, 2, 3, and 4. Now this is something that we all spend a lot of time working on, but now let's just try and put this all together, and I'm going to just put my arms out. You could try that as well. So we're going to go to the side and down a bit and up and down. And the arms are just there to remind you what your chest is doing. Your arms are actually not doing the movement. Your chest is doing the movement. So you're going down and then up at the edge and down again. Now let's go the other direction. Up across the diagonal, round, down, up, edge, up across the diagonal, down and up. And 1 more, up and up. So when you practice this, I want you to think about row back and single whip. We're not going to practice that today. We'll do that in a couple of weeks. But if you think about row back, right, you go out to the corner and then you come back and you can do the other side. So when you're coming backwards across the diagonal, this is row back. So this is how we put a circle into row back, and it's also going to be in the movement we're about to learn. If you go the other way, so you're going forwards across the diagonal, that's single whip. When you're making a hook, this is single whip. It's going up across the diagonal, up across the diagonal. And usually if you're trying to figure out, when you're thinking about your waist movement, how should your waist be moving, look at your hands. Your hands are actually following the waist movement, but they're usually a good clues to what your waist should be doing. We usually start with our hands, but actually it's the waist that is leading. So let us stop there. So the movement we're learning today is called apparent closing up, and I will demonstrate it, and then we'll work through it. So we've started with parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up, yield forward weight, left arm goes to the left arm shuttles under the right, pulls as you sit back, then both palms sit in front of your chest, and you push out. From this angle, we've finished with parry, block, and punch. 1, yield forward, and the left arm comes out. 2, right arm goes left arm goes right, pulling out, sit the palms, and push out. The Chinese is, I apologize for the pronunciation, is Ru Feng Se Pi. So Feng and Bi both are, Feng is sealed, like sealing a letter, I believe, and Bi is closed. And so in English, it's been translated into apparent closing up, which I think is something like it apparently is closed. So it's this movement when you're here. This is essentially saying it's closed. You can't come at my body. That's why we call this movement apparent closing up. Ru Feng Se Pi. Anyway, so let's talk about the footwork. The footwork that doesn't change. We start in a left bow stance. We've done parry, block, and punch. We're going to shift our weight back and then shift our weight forward again. So it's just shifting back and forward. But what I want you to pay attention to here is our footwork is push and support. So when I'm in the forward position, I can feel a relationship between my feet. My front leg is pushing against my back foot, and my back leg is pushing against my front foot. Now I push back, and I still have that relationship. When we come back, so we're here 60% in the front. When we come back, we've got 30% in the front, but I want that front foot still rooted. So you should still be able to push with the back leg and feel that you have root with your front leg. One of the things that some of us do is when we come back, the front toe lifts. Don't lift the front toe, keep the front toe seated. The other thing to pay attention to, and this is what we looked at when we were doing our standing practice, is when you come back, make sure that your crotch is rounded. So don't come back and collapse your knees. Make sure that you have a rounded crotch, which means equal weight on the inside and the outside of both legs. And for some of us, it's the inside leg that goes wandering around. For others of us, it's the back leg that goes wandering around. Pay attention to both. So that's the footwork. So the footwork is pretty straightforward. Now let's look at the arm movements. So we're starting, I'll do it this way around. So we've done parry, block, and punch. Left bow stance. One is we're going to yield forward. So with a waist turn, the right hand goes forward a bit and the left arm starts pulling to the side. So the left arm pulls to the side. 2, the left arm goes under the right. The right pulls over the left forearm all the way back. And when you are at the ending here, your right palm is about at the bottom of your ribs. The left arm is nice up and round and warding out. Then you turn, both palms are sitting in front of your chest in this posture here, and then you push out. And so this is exactly the same as in push. So in push, in the beginning of the form, we come back to here, and then we push out. This is the same movement in here. So what I want to underline is, you've heard me say this a lot, we move in circles. Now, normally when we move our arms, or often when we move our arms, we move them in vertical circles in the vertical plane. But this left arm is actually doing a circle, but it's all in the it's all in this flat plane here. And so actually I will try and give you the bird's eye view will look something like this. It'll come back to the side and go through here. So it's actually coming out and going through here, and then it goes forward. So that your left arm actually is making a circle this way. So don't just go out and back. Another way you can look at it is if you watch the fingertips here, you'll see my fingertips start in the forearm center. I'm going to yield, and when they come through, they're right at the back, almost at my armpit. So they've gone from here, and then they show up again here. Then they go forward. Then we bring the palms in front of the chest and push out. So let's practice those together a few times, and then I'll ask Susan to come and help me show the application. So let's start in parry, block, and punch. So we're in a left bow stance, left foot forward, right arm is punched out, left arm is in front of your body, palm opposite the right forearm center. So 1, turn your chest slightly to the left, right arm goes forward, left arm comes out to the left. Now the right arm comes into the left arm goes to the right and under the right arm. Now strip the right arm over the center of the forearm as you shift your weight back. With your weight at the back, sit your palms in front of your ribs, then push out to finish. Again, 1, with body turning to the left, yield forward. Left arm goes to the left, palm turns up. Right goes to the left goes to the right, shuttles under. Now, as you shift your weight back, ward off out with the left arm, pull down with the right. Palms sit in front of your chest. Now moving your weight forward, pushing out. Again, 1. I'll come forward a bit. Yield forward. Left arm goes to the side. Now right to the left, left to the right. Shuttles under. Pull. Turn. Sit the palms in front of the chest, pushing out. 1 more. So 1. Yield forward. Left arm goes out. 2. Right goes left, left goes right, pulls through underneath, keeping your opponent at bay with the left arm. Turn over the palms, both are sitting in front of your chest, moving forward your weight, pushing out. Apparent closing up. So let's actually talk a little bit about what the application meaning of this movement is. Thank you, Susan. Okay, so I have done, so let's, we'll come a little bit closer. So let's say Susan grabs me here. She's grabbing, the first thing I do is I don't pull back, I just yield. Then I put my left arm under her arm and I strip. She keeps coming forward and then I push back. I should do that again. So she's grabbed me here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to yield. So the first part of this movement, you'll see that there's a waist turn. And actually that's, she's pulling. So I'm letting her pull. Then I take over. I'm going to strip here, get a nice push connection here, and push forward. Now this movement, In fact, it's a technique that shows up in several other places of the form. It's called passing palm. And for those of you who know the form, for example, in Fair Lady Work shuttles, every shuttle has a passing palm on the one side, on the other side. And this is a very, very useful technique. So I just want to spend a moment to just talk about why this is such a useful technique. So let's say I'm in this sort of stance, and Susan is going to push here. Now, I have a weak side and a strong side. If Susan pushes with this hand, she's pushing against the diagonal of my feet. So I'm very strong here because she's essentially pushing in the same direction as my back foot. If she's pushing on this side, I don't have a foot back there. So she pushes and I fall over. So what I want to do when she's pushing on this side, I want to change so that my push is on my strong side. And so what this passing palm does is it changes the energy point so that now I'm on my strong side. When I'm here, she can push me over. I'm going to do passing palm and change so that I now have control and I can push forward. And so that's why we use this so often. Yes, it's a way of when somebody grabs, you can strip. But in general, it's a way of if she's pushing, we change. I push, she can now do passing palm as well. And I can do passing palm. She can do passing palm, and I can do passing palm. And so this is a way in which we can actually change who has control because we only have two legs. And so there's always a weak direction. The direction this way is always the weak direction. Thank you. So let's practice this a few more times. So we've done parry, block, and punch. We're in left bow stance, right palm, right hand arm striking out. So 1, yield forward late with a waist turn to the left, left arm comes to the side. 2, left arm goes to the right, right arm comes to the left, and do this strip. So now I've stripped. Sit back your palms. Now I'm taking over. My arms are now on Susan's arm, and I press forward. Again, we're at the end of parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. 1, yield forward with a waist turn to the left. Left palm turns over, left palm is vertical, out to the left. Now, sitting back, strip, and as you strip, your chest is opening to the right. Now, you're bringing your chest forward to square. Push out. Again. 1, yield forward, left hand turns palm up. Chest turns to the left. Now, shifting back your weight, chest turns to the right. Left arm wards off out, right arm is low in front of your chest. Chest turns to square as the palms are sitting in front of your ribs, pushing out to the front. And so here you can see that here's an application of the chest turning exercises that we did, because we are going, first turning to the left, then we're turning to the right, then we're coming back square. Over time, what we're trying to learn in our bodies is to put the little curves at the edges so that we have a circle through the whole movement. So let's do this again. So we're at the end of parry, block, and punch. 1, shift forward with a waist rotation, right arm goes forward, left arm comes out to the side, release the right palm. 2, strip as you sit back your weight, chest opens to the right. Check your footwork. Do you have nice rounded crotch? Are your knees in line with your toes? 3, turn your chest to square, put your palms in front of your ribs, 4, pushing out. One more. 1, yield forward, left arm comes to the side. 2, right arm to the left, left to the right, shuttles under. Now the right arm pulls over the center of the left forearm to the bottom. Sit the palms in front of the chest and push out. Let's combine what we've done and let's do parry, block, and punch and apparent closing up a few times just so we start getting the connections. So we're in left. I'll go the same direction that you would be going. Okay. So we've done left brush knee. Left bow stance, right arm striking out, left arm by your hips. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. Shift back your weight, lift the left arm halfway. With body turning, open the left toe to the corner. You're in ward-up shape. You're still looking straight ahead. Now, parry. First parry down. Step, center line to sides. Second parry to the front. And block, then punch. Apparent closing up. Yield forward as the left arm rotates out, palm up. 2, sit back as the left arm goes forward, right arm comes back. 3, sit the palms in front of the chest. 4, pushing out. Again. Left brush knee. Ending posture. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. 1, shift your weight back slightly, lift the left arm, open the left toe, water position, roll back position, you're still looking towards the front. Now, circle both arms down, make a fist, step out, transition step, center line to sides, check that your right fist is pointing to the back of the room. Second parry to the front, step through, block, shoulder width apart, punch. Apparent closing up, yield forward, weight, left arm to the side. Now left to right, right to left as you sit back your weight, left arm comes out, right sits in front of your ribs. Both arms are now sitting in front of your ribs, palms vertical, pushing out. And we'll do one more. Here. So we're at the end of left brush knee. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. Shift back, weight, rotate the arm, still looking towards the side. Now, circle down with the right arm, transition step, right toe to the corner. Second one, block out, parry out with the right. Now block with the left, heel touch, shift your weight forward and punch. Check your ending posture. Your right arm is out horizontally from your shoulder. Left arm is opposite the center of the right, left palm opposite the center of the right forearm. Apparent closing up. Yield forward weight with the chest turn to the left. Left arm comes out to the left, palm up. Now as you sit your weight back, left arm shuttles under the right, right pulls back over the left. Sit the palms in front of the chest with your weight in the back, push forward. And release. So let us close class. 同学们，再见。